The forge has gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge has gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
Okay, and we're back for episode 13 of Queen of Embers. Nick can never keep it straight. He's like, during the countdown, it's like he's got to make some sort of sound or do something.
It's the chaos.
That's right.
It's Nick's chaos.
They call it civil disobedience.
It just comes out. I can't help it.
He's
A little bit of a disorder, I think. That's right.
Nick's real life chaos temperament is mayhem.
I mean, that's accurate though.
So I'm your host, Daniel Fox, Game Master. These are the players, the cult, the people who made Zweihander and Mangash amazing. We'll make more games very soon that we can't announce yet. But you're probably hearing this probably after the announcement's already been made.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. Yeah.
We should hope so then.
I would hope
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Colonial Gothic, Grim Perilous RPG, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats. It's awesome.
It's a big deal. We're super excited about it. It seems like a perfect fit. It'll be super cool. I know I'm excited. We'll be playtesting it here soon. We're going to probably undergo... Well, the game will probably start at the Siege of Boston, and the campaign will conclude at the end of the Revolutionary War. Nice. It's awesome. Yeah. I'm super stoked. But I don't want to talk too much about it, because it's not what we're here to play. We're here to play Queen of Embers. So, we've got everybody around the table, save for Walter. Walter's attending to some needs for his wrestling promotion thing, because we have a big show tomorrow night for Journey Pro Wrestling. So unfortunately he can't be here this evening, but the rest of the people are here, who you know and love. You already know their names. Let's just jump right in. Let's talk about last session. Actually, instead of talking about last session, we're going to have Agent Elisa narrate her words back to HQ, back to the Dufresne Agency, her letter to Alexei Casimir.
Director Casimir. Funnily, I appear not to be the only one buried in shite this week. This past morning, I found myself dealing with one of the night soil collectors. Ed Nightman, having been suffocating in his own day's work. Sad way to die. Appears a rival during dung collector, the Ferrissimi, leader Sylvia Corvonis, decided they wanted in on the business. We went to speak to Henry Black, who is the unofficial leader of the Night Soil, after dropping the body with his son Charles. He told us the story of the Baroness giving them land for the black armor work that they did, and now apparently the Salt Pitman, who purchased this offal, have the potential of getting forged documents negating the Baroness's agreement. This is a lot to do with literal shit. And it's not what I signed up for, but I suppose this is where I find myself now. Of course, we get this new information of the Reek only when we get this document. I am not one to play fetch, but I suppose this is my life once again. So we find ourselves attempting to work with the Corvinos. But I went to check on the 13. They seem to be the biggest threat, at least to my particular mission. After consequently insulted some surgeons while we tried to get some supplies, their prices are quite gouging on these instruments that are nothing more than table knives. I decided to throw myself into the crowd of the 13, having another display of theirs. Of course, I get some story of some messiah born in fire, something, get rid of greed, corporations, I don't care. But forget not the song of the Queen of Embers is all I remember. Then the 6th Brigandine broke it up. Of course, the only good news now is that we have a pamphlet. It appears that this messiah is simply trying to be a redraw of the Saint Asterius the Pious. Huh. I suppose it always must come down to religion, shouldn't it? I hope I find you well, and I hope this letter makes the light of day.
And with that, we pick back up in the evening, just outside of Founders Square. You all have collected in the alleyway, and there is a trail of pamphlets littering the alleyway in the darkness. You made the choice to pursue the agitator of the 13. As a matter of fact, already, Harper is leaned down and picking up the briefs off the ground. And you can see that the trail grows thin as it continues winding through an alleyway, likely well known by these agitators of the 13, but you made the decision to pursue. It's dark. It's nighttime. The Leviathan's eye burns blue, staring down upon all of you. The vault of night is opened, and then there is many, many stars to be seen, and it casts a kind of pale sheen over the city of Durendal. The smell, the reek, still permeates everything: your clothes, your beards, your hair, the air, everything. But you were still fairly close to this small rivulet off the Bastards River, where the slaughtermen and the tanners and the dyers make their trade and business. You were just outside of Founders Square, where most of the smaller factories and other guilds gather to make iron and black powder, the weapon of the Black Knights and of the King. It has become, of course, in Durendal, the Baroness's meteoric rise to power was due to the fact that she could provide the King Cassander Malister, the Unifier, the weapons he needed to drive away the Martian Lords of the North. Durendal has enjoyed such privileges due to that. And the businesses to be had here in the city, between the needs of the Saltpetermen and the Night Soil Collective and everybody else, you are now poised to pursue what appears to be a group of renegade workers, people who are rebelling against the guilds, the 13, preaching of the Prophet. You're not sure what to expect, but you begin your pursuit. With that, we begin. So firstly, let's do a quick kind of health check around the table. So, Warren, any injuries and current damage condition track?
Unharmed.
Okay. What about yourself, Elisa?
Unhindered, unharmed.
As for Banneker?
Unhindered, unharmed.
Okay. Harper?
I am unhindered, unharmed, but suffering from reek stain.
Oh, right. So your eye, you're still having difficulty seeing.
Right,
You got
I
a
can
stanky eye.
barely see the hand in front of my face.
So 7 days, it's been 2 or...
It's been a day. This is the next morning.
Yeah.
That's right, that's right.
It's next
Yeah.
evening.
It's the next
Yeah.
evening. So.
Guess
Yeah. In Terwin, of yourself?
I'm unhindered and moderately wounded.
Attached ear.
Oh yes, I do have a detached ear.
Still recuperating from his injuries.
Is it tomorrow morning or is it tonight that we lose your...
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, well, at least we have tonight.
You took the tincture in the morning, so you have the evening. The sun has just set, and Brigandine has chased off the crowd. You broke up, essentially, a would-be riot in the middle of Founders Square. The air is still heavy with charcoal smoke, with soot. Soot seems to cover everything here. The stone, the ground. There's little refuse to be seen in the streets, but they're all cobbled to keep, and most buildings here are built of stone to keep from catching fire, obviously. There's a lot of hard work and hard workers here in Founders Square. You're still in the alley and you pick up the last of the pamphlets and the trail grows cold. You can still hear the rolling of the barrels somewhere in the streets. You know they're out there somewhere.
Well, I'll perk up an ear since I can't see. Might as well close my eyes and see if I can figure out where that noise is.
Yeah, I would attempt that.
Okay. Both of you may make an eavesdrop test. This test is hard. Sorry, not hard. Yes, hard, I'm sorry. Should have been secret test. That's okay, though.
That's okay.
It's hard.
I got a 43, now 23.
I have a 52.
And an 85 will not succeed.
I have a 52, so now 32. A 38 will not succeed.
However you like to reroll.
You know what? I'll go for it. I haven't used one.
Okay.
I haven't used
Go for it.
Here's a reroll for you.
Make
And
sure
I'll
you
take
eat it
this.
before you reroll.
And go ahead and put this down there, if you would. That way I can use that easy reach for it.
There, okay.
1 misfortune point for me.
Let's try
5
that.
fortune remaining.
Hey, I haven't gotten to use one yet.
No, I was being misfortune.
This is my...
You can use them anytime you want. That's what they're there for.
This is my inaugural. And a 30 will do it.
Nice.
There you go.
Elisa, you perk your ears up, and you could hear the rumbling of the barrel, and she feels very confident. You know what direction it's coming from. But you must act hastily. You must move quick, lest you lose them in the street.
Okay. So, I am looking at everyone. I do believe I hear them this way. And she just goes off without
Alright.
attention to whether you follow or not.
We'll just keep out after him then.
You begin pursuit. That begins chasing.
Probably lost my lead.
Don't roll anything yet. Okay. All right. So going around the table. So Terwin, what's your brown bonus?
Brown bonus is 6.
Okay. Harper,
5.
Banneker,
4.
okay. Elisa,
4.
okay. Warren,
7.
oh jeez. Nice. So the first question is this: Elisa's clearly leading the way, and Elisa is not nearly as quick as everybody else. The question is, do you wish to pursue at the same pace she's moving, or will you break off on your own?
I mean, do we have an idea where to go?
She does.
I gestured, but I mean that's.
If you can catch up to him, get on it.
Okay.
Good.
We'll go. We'll break off then.
All right. So you begin padding through the streets, trying to use your senses to understand where they're at. Everyone who intends to pursue, save for Elisa, must attempt a hard eavesdrop test. That's right.
Okay. 29.
21.
Percent chance to succeed.
51.
Critical failure.
They're behind us.
20, 31.
Wait a second.
And 26 succeeds.
Okay. Anybody here fail?
Just
Raise
fail.
your- Okay. Those who failed must reduce their movement by 6 to a minimum of 1. Those who critically failed. Sorry, if you failed, reduce it by 3 to a minimum of 1. If you critically failed, reduce it by 6, minimum of 1.
Okay. So it's 1.
All right. So you all begin your pursuit, and Elisa is essentially trying to correct those who miss out. Like, no, this way. She's kind of urging you to head the right direction. But we'll actually go around the table and begin recording values for the chase scene. So you begin running at breakneck pace. Terwin, go ahead and let's roll your pursuit. So roll a d10 and add your movement.
Okay. That's a 7.
To 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Harper?
10.
Okay. Banneker?
13.
13. Elisa?
That is a 18.
And then finally, Warren.
2.
3.
3. Well, Elisa, not only is Elisa there, but so is Banneker. The two of you pace behind her very quickly. And you all manage to actually see them just around the way. You catch them almost instantly as they round the corner. And as they round the corner, they come into, well, what looks like the yards of a very large, old... Forgive me for a moment. You come to what looks like a very large stone building that is dilapidated and forlorn, almost like a blackened sepulcher. The whole building is covered in soot and the roof is collapsed inward. And as you kind of come around the corner, you both kind of almost stop yourselves from going further out as you realize that they come into the yards with a number of other people. The people are not keeping watch, but they have torches. And they're dressed similar to the street agitators as well, just common street agitators. None of them armed, per se, but they're heading into the yards of this old, kind of burnt-out foundry. It isn't too much longer until everyone else catches up. Every once so often you can see the burning of red light over the horizon coming from a kind of kind of like a articulated stovepipe. And you could feel the heat from the foundries here. And even at night, even in the evening, the smithies still toil with blacksmiths and the sound of people not far away. You were not alone. You all collect together.
Alright. I think we found them out. Question is, we go further, or we take the victory? Or do your investigating like you were talking about?
I mean, if we're gonna play these people against each other, we gotta know both sides.
You can see that the man who is rolling the barrel, he joins with a few others in this between these large blackened doors that are actually open and inviting to anyone who would wander into this area. And you can see this burning orange light coming from within. As people are slowly beginning to gather, workers, dark and dirty and sweaty from a long days of toil, are filtering into these doors, and you can hear the sound of somebody speaking inside.
Oh.
Almost like a pitched speech.
I say we go in.
What?
We can just say we got chased it through the city to here by the brigandine. We got curious.
Well, we just came for the son.
Sure enough.
What's his name? Night Soil Collective boss.
Henry Black.
He's the one that told us to come listen.
I don't know if that's quite the right person. I mean,
He told us to go listen.
right, but I don't know if we want them to know that he told us to go listen.
Right, I think he's saying don't drop the name if you don't got it.
Alright.
We're
Maybe
here of
we
our own volition.
Maybe we should break up, though.
I
Large
was-
groups.
I was about to say we shouldn't all walk in together.
All right then. Warren heads on in on his own.
Hold on. Warren's the most plebeian of you sort, so I'll steer near him and he'll bring my stock down.
Yeah, just act like Warren.
I can do that.
The first thing that you notice, Elisa, as you kind of are looking over this old, dilapidated building, you can see that there's a sign above the iron gates that says Geldman and Zox.
I've heard that name before.
Alright, I believe we have.
One of the two founders.
Well, and I suppose that makes enough sense. That's where we've heard it from.
So a little bit ago, as I start to whisper, a little bit ago, I see you making yourself look different, like having soot on your face.
Yes.
I think if anybody should go in by themselves, it'd be you. I think you'd be the best suited for it.
I assumed as much, yes.
And then, well, two of us, I mean, we stick out like a sore thumb anywhere that soldiers ain't about. So we'll go in together.
Sounds good to me.
Hmm?
So
Okay.
Lisa's gonna slide off to the side a bit and try to dirty herself up again.
Okay. Would you pour the fortune points out of that bowl and give it to me? I just need the bowl. Thank you. And just put it somewhere in the middle. Or grab a plate and put it on the plate.
Fortune plate.
We're gonna pass the fortune plate around?
Are you all going to wait in the periphery and sit them in alone?
Oh, we already walked in.
Yeah.
Okay. Who remained behind?
I think we were going to go in as well. I don't think anyone was waiting for me behind.
No, I think we were just going to break up. We were going to go. Then
Oh, you want to
Stagger's
break up into
gonna
groups?
We were going to kind of stagger so we didn't look like a giant group of mercenaries storming the gates.
Got it. So, we won't roll any disguise tests yet for those who elected to try to change their selves in the case of
I think
Elisa.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Capability, but I don't think it's going to help.
I mean, I would note that I'm not armed.
Who's the
at
first
all.
group to go in? Warren?
Us too.
Warren and Banneker. Okay. Either of you carrying a martial melee weapon?
No.
You begin to gather inside. And it's clear that the 13, these revolutionaries, if you will, are shacked up in a very large main hall. Very little is left of the roof, as you can see the stars above. And the floor is still covered in soot. There's probably, you all begin to kind of filter in at this point. There's about 24 men and women here that have huddled around campfires. They don't seem to have much, but there is this kind of sense of optimism and hope in their eyes. They're gathered around what appears to be an old cannon. A rusted cannon that's actually near another fire, a smaller fire. A very young man is actually sitting on the end of the cannon. He's kind of leaning against the cannon, and he's surrounded by other people who appear to be armed with hammers, blacksmith's hammers, wearing leather smocks. As you approach and come inside, one of these workers actually hands you soup out of a bowl from a nearby cauldron. It says, "Welcome, brother. Welcome, sister."
Thank you.
They don't seem to bat a lash at the
Thank
two
you.
of you. But when it comes to the last group, either of you carrying a martial melee
I'm
weapon?
not carrying any weapons.
I am.
Okay, what are you carrying?
I'm carrying a mortuary sword.
Okay. There is a sense of pause for a moment, but they'll allow you in, regardless.
It's an heirloom. You don't have to worry too much.
There is a collection of these people, dressed in mostly workers' clothes, and the young man that's sitting near the cannon kind of motions everyone to come inside. And then suddenly these large iron-heavy doors are slowly drawn shut with a solid thud sort of sound. The sound of the forge is outside going to grow quiet. But somewhere deeper within is the sound of a bellows. You can still see a halo of light above the collapsed roof. Most of the stone has been removed, but it's clear these people have been huddled here and kind of are taking refuge, essentially. This man who's sitting against the cannon, he's dressed in worker's clothes, and he has this kind of checkered yellow and black scarf wrapped around his mouth and nose and kind of in brown hooded robes. And he looks strikingly similar to the woodcut of Saint Asterius that you saw on the pamphlet. Any of those who have education or would know. He's covered in these kind of soot-stained bandages around his hands, and his whole head is like burned to a cinder. He has no hair on his head. He has terrible, terrible scars all over his face. Another thing that you note too is that he is actually armed in the sense that his sword is resting against the nearby cannon, this old rusted out cannon. You can see cannon shot lying all around, piled up in places. Heavy old rusted iron cannonballs. But who has martial melee as a skill rank? Those with the skill rank of martial melee immediately notice that this weapon is not shot of iron, but it's actually a sword wrought of wood.
Not martial range, sorry.
You kind of caught him in the midst of a conversation that is drawing the people in as they're listening. They kind of, as you listen to him as well, you kind of capture bits and pieces that he says. And what will we do? We will capture the fires of revolution that will cleanse the city of corruption, greed, and exploitation. And you can't help but be kind of drawn in by his words, almost enamored by them in a way that you would not normally be motivated by. Would all of you like to give him attention and listen in to his speech? Or will you instead attempt to, what will you do otherwise? Meaning, do you wish to pay attention to his words? Is the first question. If not, then what will you do?
Yeah, I mean, Harper will, simply because he's having a hard time seeing. He wouldn't be able to look around about. So he's going to see what he can hear. Or I guess he'll hear what he can hear. And see if he can make sense of, are these guys just batshit crazy? Are they honest folk? What's going on? Try to assist, kind of suss them out.
What of yourself, Terwin?
Terwin's gonna look at. He's gonna wait until he can make eye contact with his one eye to Warren and Banneker, and then he's gonna try and be subtle and just point to his eye and to his ear when both of them look over at him.
Banneker, what of yourself?
And then he's going to listen.
Okay.
I'll, Is there people mingling around, or is everybody focused
They're
on
all
him?
kind of focused on him, like their attentions are turned away completely.
Then I will try to... I'm going to snoop around a bit.
Okay. What about yourself, Elisa?
Elisa's going to attempt to look very confused and possibly scared, and she's holding the soup bowl and looking around and trying to look bewildered as she takes in her surroundings and tries to see what all there is to see.
Okay. Warren, what of yourself?
I'm gonna snoop around too.
Okay. So,
I
firstly,
don't care what he says.
for those who those who are listening in, there is something very mesmerizing about the words of the soot-stained prophet. He does not call himself this. The other people call him that. As a matter of fact, he says, someone asked him, he says, the others call me Fireborn or the soot-stained prophet, but what I am called matters little. It matters is what we do. As this is clearly who this man is. And those who listen in gain the benefits of Invoke Fury, the generalist magic spell.
Oh, wow.
Meaning you add a d6 Fury die to all damage. For those who are snooping around and trying to capture what's happening around you, you all must attempt a hard resolve test.
Okay. Alright, okay. 26.
29.
20 will do it.
24.
Critical failure.
Critical failure? Oh my gosh.
Did you say critical failure?
Oh wait, no, that's just a failure.
Okay.
No wait, no, it is a critical failure.
Yeah.
88. I thought it was a 98%.
Would you like to re-roll, Banneker?
No,
Need
I have a
some dice?
24%
Get some
chance
dice?
to roll 20, and I'm just a little disappointed.
Those who failed, you are struck by these deep words that seem to really make you feel not only incredibly uncomfortable, but you can feel this palpable fear in the air. And it's with you and you alone. Your heart begins to race. You can feel your heartbeat grow. You can feel the blood building behind your eyes. Your ears tingle. You feel the hackles on the back of your neck rising in a bad way. If you failed, you must reduce your peril threshold by 3 during this time. As long as you remain within eyesight and earshot of the soot-stained prophet. If you critically fail, reduce it by 6 to a minimum of 1.
So is this a
No.
intimidate?
A what now?
Is it intimidate?
Nope.
Okay, just making
It
sure.
is not. Need a marker?
Play murder. Yeah.
I'll just remember.
As you
If it
listen
didn't
in,
fail,
and
nothing.
you were drawn into his words. Those who listen are drawn into it and just completely mesmerized, and can feel this. You can feel these goosebumps on your arms, like all over and on the top of your head, like that. You feel like this man is incredibly inspiring. Now, how you react to this is up to you, obviously, but you can feel like this burning fury building within, this fury of revolution. The words really motivate you. They seem to move you as he speaks. So those who are snooping around, you are kind of there's this kind of, you kind of almost lock eyes for a moment with one another, and you feel this intense sense that not only are you an outsider, but incredibly unwelcome, and you feel that you are in immediate danger. That these people could turn at a moment's notice, that the suit-stained prophet could give the word, and he could have anybody in this room murdered by the hands of children and women and men and workers and the impoverished. You feel that they would tear you limb from limb if he told them to do so.
Okay. Still gotta look around.
You continue snooping, and you're kind of looking around. Those who are snooping, roll an awareness test. This test is easy.
62.
69.
Success.
61.
Critical success. 39.
Nice.
45. Success.
Okay.
I'm telling you, D10s love me.
Those who succeed, first you notice that the man you saw speaking in the square, in Foundry Square, who has had the barrel, the man you've seen twice now, is talking with another pair of people, and they call him Eustace Adelard. He's a heavier set fellow who appears to be well fed, as he is an Adelard, but he is clearly the agitator who was in the square up on top of the barrel of gunpowder. And as you're kind of looking around, you realize that there are several barrels scattered all throughout the interior of Geldman and Zock's foundry in this main chamber that are likely filled with gunpowder, which even kind of increases the tension in the air. You start to get a really bad feeling. Something at the bottom of your stomach's kind of building up.
Do I get anything for getting a crit?
For the critical success, you notice something a little bit different. You realize that the sword that he has laying against the cannon is actually engraved with strange symbols. 3 symbols, in fact, that you immediately, with the critical success from an awareness test, you immediately lock into your mind. Like, those 3 symbols are burned into your mind. They're engravings upon, literally, it looks like he took a branch and wielded it down and immersed it in flames and soot stain. It's a blackened sword, literally made of wood, wrapped with leather around the handle. No metal on it whatsoever. His speech continues, and you can see the people begin to stand up and rise and kind of gather around him, almost like in a prophetic fashion. They kind of gather about him, and the two of you kind of move in, following along, just to keep the guys up. Whether you're motivated by this or not is entirely up to you, but you know in your heart of hearts that this man has a presence that you've never seen or felt in anyone else. And you've met one of the greatest men of Aglador is Liam Dufresne, the founder of the Dufresne Agency, and he doesn't even possess the presence that the suit-stained prophet does. Like, this man is magnanimous, simply dressed, very young, clearly had suffered a very serious and likely fatal accident, judging by the amount of scars all across his head and face. He has no hair at all. One of his eyes is completely sealed over with flesh. He looks grotesque, but his voice is this kind of harsh, gravelly whisper that just stirs these intense feelings in everyone around him. For the others, it makes you feel really, really nervous. That as they begin to kind of flock around him, nearly 24 people total in this room, you can feel that's what's kind of justifying the peril loss right now.
Well, if we see it, I see that all I'll pretend to get in line. Oh.
Same here.
Not that you have to by any means.
I just don't want to arouse suspicion because
Right, at this
everyone
point-
else is gathering.
That's yeah.
Like
same.
if you're just wandering around in the room.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, I saw the look and listen, so I was trying to do that, but
That's right.
I did poorly.
So as he's speaking, he picks up the wooden sword off the rusted cannon. And he runs his fingers along the blade. And he simply says, "This is the sword that will set our people free." And he pauses. And then he continues as he's telling a story, like this is like something big is about to happen, you know it. He says, "These engravings on my blade, they seem to foretell of what I'm to do. I have no recollection of carving them, but more appear as my journey progresses. What does my blade augur? The fire is rising, and a blow against the oppressor. The true revolution starts tonight." With this, he begins to cough up blood and falls to his hands and knees. You can see the yellow and black checkered scarf begin to darken. And he kind of turns away from the flames and turns away from everybody's sight to cough, spitting up blood on the ground. That's when Eustace Adelar, the person you had seen before, comes over, and his men pick up the soot-stained prophet off the ground. And he begins to say that. He says in no, without any confusion at all, he simply says, "Tonight is the plan to strike against the hated saltpetermen. We're going to attack their compound tonight and release the captured revolutionaries. Gather your hammers, bring your sticks. Tonight is the night that we free our brothers." So this kind of brings us to a very critical point. You kind of happened upon this rebellion of sort, and you are clearly gathered around with the others. So I will give you on the clock 3 minutes to talk among yourselves to decide what to do. Speaking in character, of course. And your time begins now.
So, do we have our own barrel that we've kind of huddled around?
Yes.
Listen here. I don't think there's any way we're going to talk him out of this. So
A warning could be given.
What? This is perfect. What are you talking about? If they blow the gates, we go in, we get the
could go
document.
in.
Perfect.
We could take advantage
The
of this
document's not with the saltpetermen. The document's with the Farisiman.
No, the documents with the saltpetermen.
No, they were going to give them the document so that the only people that could do it is Corvino's people. They still have the document, the Corvinos.
No, the saltpetermen have the document.
Saltpetermen
They have it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they've always
Well
had
then,
it.
Yeah.
rewind.
No worries.
No worries. Yeah.
Point of clarification.
Well,
Misunderstanding.
now I
Yeah.
understand why Mr. Black said this would be all resolved in 10 hours. He must have known this was happening tonight.
I think everyone knows. I think we're the only ones that don't know. But
There's
seriously,
30
let them
people.
run the barrels up, blow the doors down, rampage and kill these people that we don't know. We get the documents, we cure the reek, we're heroes, we get paid, we go on to the next thing.
Well,
Sounds pretty simple. I like it.
well, we can make the assumption that the saltpetermen probably have arms.
No, they're definitely armed.
Right. So this may not come down to the 13 actually making it anyway.
game.
But that's fine. See, what you're seeing is cannon fodder is what I see around.
Quite literally.
You've never heard of this.
It's not fine, but it's something that is going to happen anyway. I don't think there's going to be any way we can talk them out of this.
Oh no! To be honest, we should just leave. When
well,
they make the trek across to go to wherever the saltpetermen are, we just peel off.
No, this is our way in, isn't it?
I mean,
I can't storm the gates.
I
Let these plebeian rabble-rousers storm the gates and we're good.
can't survive shots. But if you can,
No, that's what they're for.
yeah, he's saying that we go in with them, but not in the front lines.
Of course, on the front lines. I don't get anywhere near the front lines. I mean, I learned for a long, long experience. Stay to the back.
Either that, or if we do break off,
you want to assume that shot can't go through one person. all one line. So, you do what you wish. I will go along with what you want, but I am not bulletproof, and I do not believe any of you are.
Now I've got a few still in me.
Right.
I mean,
You
to
have
me,
1
it's,
minute.
It's the win, but
Yeah.
you two, you are my betters.
We are going to take advantage of this, and we are either going to split off, like some of us are wont to do, and still arrive at the location, and maybe find an alternate means in, or we are going to be with the rabble, and we are going to try and slip in once the rabble has broken through.
A warning to the saltpeterman could go a long way in graciousness. I'm just pointing out.
I'm just saying, we saw how those Brigandine dealt with these rabble rousers. I don't think they're going to stand much of a chance against men with guns.
As you look among the crowd,
We don't
the
know
time is now up. There is the plan's clearly been finalized as you are talking with one another, and there's this. The mood is very nervous and impatient. Many of these people who are here don't look like they've ever picked up a sword.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I make a warfare check to see?
No, you can automatically see what's going on at this point. Yeah. Keep in mind, you only make skill tests when there's like actual risk.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be following these guys.
No.
There's risk.
This is your observation, though.
Okay.
None of them appear to be heavily armed. Many are fidgeting with their equipment nervously or pacing back and forth. There's a little bit of unrest as the suit-stained prophet is still sitting by the fire.
So, yeah, I mean, how many more are they going to pick up in the streets? I say we follow. We go her way if it looks bad. We go your way if it looks good. Easy peasy.
In your case, Harper, these men would be cut down easily. These people are
Right.
ill-equipped for this.
They're going to go there, and they're going to go with their death. That's my opinion.
I think they have.
One being raised as I have been, those men are going to die tonight.
I think they have more up their sleeve than we're seeing here.
None of them are carrying gunpowder. None of them are carrying any weapons that would potentially be seen as dishonorable. None of them carry any bows. Merely the hammers of blacksmiths, sticks that they picked up off the street, men and women.
He
These
sends
people
them
are-
to martyrdom.
I'm saying we either stop them or we don't go with them. We use them as distraction. I would not want to be with them.
The nervousness kind of almost builds to a crescendo as Eustace Adelard is trying to calm them down. And that's when you hear the prophet, sitting by the fire, begins to sing at first in a very soft voice, an old folk song familiar to anybody who is from Durendal, a folk song called The Queen of Embers. Everyone kind of stops to listen, and then some join in. And then soon the blackened hall begins to echo with their singing. At the end of this song, the suit-stained prophet stands up, holding the wooden sword at his waist, and he sings the last stanza himself. Cue it up.
The forge is gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge is gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
And as he concludes the last stanza of this old folk song, the wooden sword begins to crackle and spark flames. And the people suddenly are steeled with this incredible resilience and resolve, and you feel the effects of Invoke Fury, like when you're kind of drawn in, and suddenly it's like, what the fuck are we dealing with? Things take a complete turn. The blackened doors open, and the suit-stained prophet with his burning sword, and the rabble, the revolutionaries follow in his wake. Do you wish to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Going with the group.
All right. Remember, those who were near the suit-stained prophet and his host continue to suffer from their peril loss. Those who listened gained the benefits of the journalist's magic called Invoke Fury.
I did not fail the resolve, so am I fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, we failed.
Okay, I was just making sure, because you said those who didn't.
I'm sorry, I should have clarified. Those
that's
who
fine.
listened gained the benefits of Invoke Fury. Those who didn't listen and failed are still suffering from their peril loss.
Just making sure. Alright.
The wooden sword seems to cast its own light, burning like a great torch, as he's holding it in his bare hand, these soot-stained bandages. The flames do not seem to harm him. He walks with a very pronounced limp. Eustace, Adelard, and the others stand at his side as they are essentially kind of conspiring on what they're going to do. And you could hear their words upon the wind as you're walking through the street, and he's telling them, "We will simply walk through the gates. There shall be no subterfuge. It is not our way." Eustace Adelard will argue a bit at this until the suit-stained prophet says, "Enough. I have spoken my words. This is the way it must be. Only the saltpetermen. Harm no one else. Once our people are free, we will flee into the night."
Are they bringing any barrels?
No.
Just the sticks and hammers and whatnot?
Yes.
That's a ballsy move.
Can we put ourselves slightly at a distance?
Absolutely, so you can have a sense of privacy? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You all kind of collect together in the wake of these 20-odd people walking through the street with a suit-stained prophet with his wooden sword burning like a torch, literally leading the people through Founders Square. People are watching this happen. People are observing this. Brigandine is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Can I figure out what the symbols are on that sword? Is there a possibility of that?
Not right now. No, you would need facilities to do such,
Alright.
and you do not possess such facilities. I don't seem to recall anyone. Do you have a skill rank in incantation?
I do not.
Then you cannot without proper facilities,
But I
unfortunately.
know who to talk to.
So,
Should any of us go warn Legate? Or not Legate, sorry. Legate. Brigandine?
Not at all, because then they'd be after us.
Alright.
well,
Listen. If you're worried about it, try and find another way in.
that's the plan, right? Let them rush in. We go. It's the Gahabro Shuffle. Hello.
Yeah, if you wanted to,
Let them do the work, and we go around the other way.
If those gates open up, I'll let it in through those gates. If it's a closed gate and they all get shot to pieces before we,
I was going to say, there's 20 corpses. You could probably climb them by the time these gates are actually open.
no, if that's the case, then we don't want to go in through the front gate. Either that, or we actually show what we are, and that's agents of the Dufray.
Warren is quiet.
You've got two choices. You either stand towards the back, wait for the gate to open, go in through the gate, or you try and find another way in altogether while they're distracted.
Something tells me something about this guy's not right. He knows he's making it out of there alive. I just know it.
He don't believe any of the rest of them. Though. Maybe the fat one.
Terran's like, well, I'm with him, but I'm not about to lose me life. But I'm with him as he starts to stare at that sword, and his eyebrow twitches. The same eyebrow that's over his missing eye.
I don't know about being with him, boss. I mean, we're going to use them. If they get killed, we just move back. That's why we let them creep up, give them their distance. Let the boy prophet swing his sword.
With him. Like walking with him or agreeing with him.
Walking with him.
Okay. The way you said it.
No, I mean walking with him. Near the light.
Alright.
The light of the burning magical sword.
Right.
I'm just saying we should keep our distance, alright?
This is not something normal.
If you're gonna fight wizards, then you should bring magic.
What? With the...
Fools.
Yeah.
You just put oil on it and lit it.
Oh, I apologize. You're not from the south like I am. We call people who use guns wizards, and we call guns wands.
Right.
This ain't that kind of magic. This is the...
What?
This is the spooky, scary, real magic. I've seen it.
Of course it's real.
It's
We're
not to
looking
be
right at it.
It's not to be trifled with.
I wasn't going to use it. I was going to let it open the gate for me and walk through it.
I'm saying.
That's all it is. And this whole time he's talking to you guys, his eye is not leaving that sword.
All right.
I'm with you.
If you guys think this is...
Well, you guys go sneaking about. I'll keep an eye on the lieutenant. That's what you guys do best, right? Sneaking around? I think you guys are better people than I am. I'm clumsy as hell.
I was not bred to sneak.
Nope, that's what you learn to do.
No. But whatever you ask for.
Survive. That's what
I
you
have
learn
the
to do.
ability to look like another or to be able to blend in. Yes, I'll go blend in.
While we're walking, Terwin gets in his things and he takes out a vial of laudanum and downs it.
One corruption, one step up the damage condition track.
Elisa's eyes kind of follow you for a second. When you do that.
So who is going to walk with the host? The host with the prophet?
No, God, no.
I'm behind a bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be as far away as I can conceivably be.
Without arousing suspicion.
I will
Exactly right.
attempt, though, to copy, like, the expressions and, like, the noises and everything that the people ahead of me are making.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are, these people, to clarify, they are literally
Scream.
people from the street. They're not screaming. They're just following in, like, it's almost like in a wake, almost like in a procession of priests. But they're not monks, they're not priests, they're not singing any canticles, nor are they rubbing holy symbols or swinging urns or back and forth or holding censers in their hands, or their hands aren't even collapsed in prayer. Instead, they are simply walking in the wake of this soot-stained prophet, this man who will bring the fire of illusion to the city. And they are walking to their death. Because you've chosen not to alert Brigandine, you all gain 3 corruption.
Yeah.
Lawbreaker.
I mentioned it, but no one was willing.
They got mad at us last time. Oh, well, there's one behind you.
It is not far from here that the Saltpeterman compound is found. It's near the Bastards River. Almost near riverside, rather. You can see that there is this kind of tall stone wall. And above that tall stone wall are these iron kind of spikes. So people would not attempt to ascend the walls. They actually curve over like such to keep people from clambering over. They're rusted black and sharp as a leaf. It's still nighttime, keep this in mind. You can see just over the walls kind of like faint light, but you can't see any buildings because the walls are so high. Doors, I should say, to this iron or this stone wall are not open yet. The soot-stained prophet, in his and his congregation, if you will, would not even be seen by the saltpetermen inside. There's no guards outside. The walls are too high to clamber over. Who would think to infiltrate a saltpeterman's compound? That's when Eustace Adelard reaches beneath not the folds of his flesh, but the folds of his robes, and he produces a key. And they kind of look both ways along the street, and clunk, they turn the key. And with that, three men and one woman who are bristling with muscle push the gate, or pull the gate outward. There's this groaning, this heavy old iron door affixed along the stone wall as they're about to infiltrate the saltpeterman compound. And as that gate is kind of opening toward you, you can see the light of the compound beginning to spill out. You haven't seen anybody inside yet, but you can see the light of the compound is spilling out into to the cobblestone street along Riverside. Shit's about to get real.
I like that that's the moment when the prince decides to kick on.
The air still lingers with smoke.
Could I look around and see, do any of them look like we had been described that the saltpeter men are shaved, like completely? Do any of them look to be like maybe where they were infiltrators?
None appear to be shaved, no.
Okay. None of them.
The only one who was bereft of hair is the suit-stained prophet himself. But that is due to a very terrible accident.
I'm just trying to figure. Harper's trying to figure out where the hell did they get that key from.
You can hear the sounds of the work happening inside the compound of the saltpeterman. The striking of iron, the blowing of bellows, the burning of light, a halo over the iron gate of the stone gate.
Does this have a sign on it as well?
It does not know. It's completely unmarked.
Okay.
It is a compound without a doubt. Their walls are tall enough to not easily be scaled unless you easily had 10 yards of rope.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
You don't say.
You're the only one near me now, so it doesn't matter.
The smell of dung lingers as the doors open, and you can keep in mind the reek is still always there, but the smell of dung, the smell of night soil, kind of pours forth from inside this area.
These people before us going to get slaughtered. You realize that?
Do we care?
Well, it's not like they were bad folk. I think you should care, but that's just me.
I told them cannon fodder. That's my thought of them.
Go get the paper then. That's what we're here for, right? They open the gates. I can't see for shit.
Finding one piece of paper in this compound.
The door suddenly opens. We've come for revolution! You hear the soot-stained prophet say, and they begin to filter in through the doors into the compound of the saltpeterman's compound. And you can hear this, this kind of screaming coming from inside, and not from the congregation of the soot-stained prophet, but of the laborers who are probably within the gates.
I believe that's our cue.
To what?
To enter.
I'm not going first.
A little chaos happened before I...
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Terwin's already in.
I'll follow.
I'm following Terwin, so... Mostly to keep himself out of trouble, because I know his way with fire.
Nope.
And suddenly you see this man fall from out of the gates into the street. As one of the salt suit-stained prophets, blacksmith, brings the crow of his hammer right into the back of this man's head, catching it right in the back of the skull as one of the saltpeterman's laborers attempted to escape, but has been struck dead before your feet.
They spoke of only going after the saltpeterman, but obviously that's out the window. Good. Good.
So it wasn't a saltpeterman, it was just a laborer?
You have no idea. As a matter of fact, as you kind of are looking through the gates, you're not even sure who is who. There's just this fracas that is kind of exploded. This chaos that's kind of opened into this kind of cramped quarters of the compound. You can see there are these large brass-walled cauldrons full of boiling water, kind of burbling with heat. You can see the steam rising off of them, and you can tell it's made of brass because the light of the Sootstain's prophet swords like catches upon its kind of like crenellated sides. He brings the sword through as he swings it down, kind of cold cocking a man who is bereft of hair, spinning to the ground and dropping before him. Free them! Find our friends! Find our brethren! Search the buildings! He says.
I'm gonna go check on the man who was brained. See if he's like I mean, is he just a normal person, or is he shaved?
Oh, he's shaved.
I'm gonna creep in then. As long as they're only killing the shaved ones.
Yeah, they're going after that.
Is there anything on the shaved guy?
You want to stay here and pilfer through his things?
No, I really do, but no.
What of the rest of you?
Want?
I've heard a lot from Banneker and Elisa and Taro, but nothing from Harper or Warren.
I'm going to keep with one of the groups and follow along with them. I'm trying to stay with a larger group so I don't have to, like, deal with fighting anyone, if possible.
One of yourself,
Taro. Taron's going to stay close-ish to the prophet, but he's going to look back behind him, and if he sees like another member of the Dufresne, he's going to start pointing in odd directions, like making signs basically to look for the paper.
You can see there are a number of houses or the kind of smaller workshops within these walls of the compound.
Okay. Is there what would appear to be more of a centralized building, or
there are a number of outbuildings.
Okay.
There's a nearby shanty full of firewood. Clearly, they're keeping these kind of brass cauldrons for boiling lit with all this firewood underneath of it. It's probably where they are synthesizing the dung, because the smell of shit is very strong in here.
okay. Beyond that, anything else that I would do would be to basically make sure that if they start to bring like weapons that might annihilate these people, then I'll want to have an eye out.
What do you
for
mean
that.
weapons that will annihilate these people?
Martial ranged or melee weapons.
The men of the suit-stained prophet or the saltpetermen?
I'm looking for any I can see
Okay.
on either side.
To be in the group with the suit-stained prophet does mean to an invitation for war. As you can see that the saltpetermen are picking anything up off the ground. A shovel used to pick up manure. A nearby woodsman's axe to split firewood to keep the brass cauldrons burning. Anything they can find to pick up to defend themselves. And they are severely overwhelmed by the suit-stained prophet's congregation. In fact, the saltpetermen are getting murdered before your eyes.
Harper's planning to stay by the entrance of the gate and keep an ear out, because he can't keep much of an eye out, for any kind of like brigandine or anyone coming, like whether it's be the clink of their armor, a bell tower signaling that brigandine's been alerted, or heck, even if there's other compounds of saltpetermen, if I can kind of keep an eye out and whistle blow if we need to blow.
I'm looking for the building with the least amount of traffic that's gone to it, or the least soot.
Okay. You see one perhaps where a main house, maybe it's the quarters of the laborers, is nearby. But between you and that building is a very large tall brass cauldron. Imagine like those old wooden water towers on top of apartment buildings. It looks like but it's made of brass and it's still boiling with water. And you can see a ladder leading up to it. And nearby, you can see 3 of the Street-Stained Prophet's men. One of them reaches over and wrenches a woodsman's axe from the hands of one of the salt pyramid and begins to chop at the stilts below its legs. Then suddenly everyone joins in. They're going to work and trying to destroy this brass cauldron full of boiling water and shit.
I would move to intercept that.
Okay. All right. Do some initiative. I've got a 5 plus. I have a 14. Put the salt pyramid at a 14. My perception bonus is 7. Harper, what's yours?
It's not that high. It's 5.
So salt pyramid go in between? Yeah. They continue to hammer and break toward the large burning cauldron. You said you want to intercept them to stop them?
Yeah, I'm thinking if I can a charge to knock down, but not any strike.
Absolutely. You'll actually have you're not flat-footed, but we'll let you go first. Okay. As you come forward, there's one of them directly in front of you. You begin to hustle. You hustle and then do a takedown?
No, I would like to charge and do a takedown.
Okay. All right.
Putting my shield in between us and knocking him down.
You rush toward him with the shield and interpose it between you and him. Go ahead and make a routine athletics test.
Routine athletics will be 61. And a 67 won't do it.
Want to roll that?
Yeah, I don't want a whole bunch of boiling water to go over us. It'd be really bad.
Using boiling water and shit.
Part of me thinks this situation's already boiling over.
Yeah.
And it's a big giant pot of shit.
When you fight against the Salt Peterman, you do not gain the benefits of your Invoke Fury.
Okay.
Sorry, not Salt Pyramid, but you're not fighting the Salt Pyramid. You're fighting the Suit-Stained Prophets people. So
they're doing this.
That's right.
I thought it was the saltpeter.
Well, the great thing is about this is there's plenty of chaos in the yard, so gathering who is who, it doesn't really matter all that much. Change the saltpeterman to the 13 if you would. And then for the saltpetermen have the exact same initiative, so you just put saltpeterman in the 13. Distinguishing between the two in this melee that's kind of unfolding is uncertain. Did you actually succeed?
Yes, I did. Sorry,
Okay.
36.
Okay, their chance to the 13's chance to resist is not very good. It was a 35, and I rolled a 25, so I succeeded. You barrel into the man, and he looks toward you kind of incredulously and says, "What are you doing? We've come here."
It'll hurt all of us. Stop it.
"Blast that," he says. He will continue whittling away, which gives you an opportunity attack if you wish to take it.
Yeah.
Shield in hand.
No, I don't have the action points for subdue, so I'm not going to do it.
All right, Warren, it's your turn. You're among the throng of the suit-stained prophet and his people.
I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay. Would you? There's no magnet. Shit. Okay. All right, Banneker. What are you gonna do?
We were gonna divide up. She was gonna do one building. I was gonna do the other one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a D6 Fury die, or Chaos die, if you would, Banneker. 3. You come toward this outbuilding for 2 action points. You grab the door and open it up. It almost tears completely off of its hinges as it's thrown to the ground, and kind of bursting out from inside here are these 2 frightened teenagers running for their lives as they kind of run from either side of you. Would you like to make an opportunity attack against them?
No.
Okay. They, as well, are shaved, bereft completely of hair, as they were clearly hiding inside this shed, and they were now running across the yard. Elisa, what do you want to do? Lisa, what do you want to do? Head to the next.
I'm going to the next building.
Roll d6 for your die.
6.
6.
Explode. No.
That's right. You're coming near an outbuilding that seems to be near the Bastards River, because you can see that the walls terminate and open up to a long wooden jetty out onto the river. It's dark. And you can see inside this building, it's actually completely open. But as you kind of approach for 3 action points and kind of withdraw this heavy canvas cover, you can see all these barrels of prepared gunpowder. Freshly prepared and stamped with the symbol of both the Genevieve, stamped with the symbol of the Genevieve. Specifically, not the Genevieve, my apologies, the symbol of the Baroness Dupre. They have been prepared, they have been bound up on pallets. It is clear that this is finished gunpowder. This is a gunpowder compound. Saltpeterman in the 13's turn. I should put the 13 below Harper, perfect. The Saltpetermen will go first. The Saltpetermen are attempting to defend themselves with whatever they possibly can. If you are fighting among the throng of the suit-stained prophet, you are a target. One of them will approach you, and he will, and this person will say she. She is clearly shaved from head to toe and wearing these kind of clothes that are appropriate for work, in the sense that like the sleeves are rolled up and such. But she's kind of screaming at the top of her lungs, trying to defend herself, as she will come toward you with what looks like a shovel that the end of it is covered in night soil. 35% chance to strike. I rolled a 6.
It's a shit sting.
Alright, I will parry then.
Your turn has not yet started, therefore you have no AP.
Okay.
Whack! You're hit across the head as you suffer 4 plus 3, 7 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, if you hold your action, you're
Is this
so, yeah.
ping? Oh, I'm sorry, you held your action. My apologies. You can attempt to parry.
Well,
You're absolutely right.
you've already rolled it. I didn't take any damage anyway.
Okay. All right. She slaps you across the shoulder, and you kind of recoil, pulling your arm over your face, and you hear this kind of thunk, this kind of broad metal shovel just kind of hits you across the back.
I'm going to take this point to disengage from the engagement.
Okay. So you're going to attempt to maneuver?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and swap Harper, Terwin, and Warren. Put Warren in Harper's place, and then move Terwin in Warren's place, and move Harper where Terwin was. So just basically move Harper down, move Terwin down, move Warren up.
I just need to change the numbers.
No, this is easier because I need to see it in order. I don't look at numbers. I look at the order on the initiative board we have across the table here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Warren, you spend 2 AP to maneuver away.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll use my last AP to move towards some house that no one's looked through yet.
Roll d6.
Okay. 4.
Okay. In the melee, you come to what appears to be a workshop that's on the edge of the compound, and has access to water in barrels, and they're kind of resting up on a framework of joists. This appears to be some sort of industrial building where they would basically continue to synthesize the night soil into saltpeter.
Okay.
Perhaps join it with the necessary components for creating gunpowder. You're not really sure.
I don't think this is where the papers will be, so I'll continue my search.
Yeah. So it's now the 13's turn. 13 will continue to rhythmically chop at this brass walled cauldron. They are not yet finished either. One of the joists snaps, and you can see it kind of tilt one to one side. Make a check mark beside the 13. One of the bits of scaffolding kind of snaps and breaks, and you can see some of the water kind of spill out. Hissing as it covers the ground and boiling as you can see the heat off of it, you kind of move away. The suit-stained prophet is unabated by such things, though. He continues, "Find them! Find our friends! We must flee before Brigandine comes!" Harper, it's your turn. Give me a Reese's Pieces, please.
So I see them taking a hack at this giant cauldron.
Yeah.
Do I think I would be in its area of effect once it does fall?
You want to spend an action point to determine that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That's an awful lot of water. Do you have tradecraft?
I do not have tradecraft. I have warfare, but that's about
No,
it. And then a lot of
unfortunately not.
martial and...
You may attempt a tradecraft test.
Okay.
You're trying to determine the volume of water inside that giant barrel. The test will be easy.
There's a lot.
Easy. Tradecraft will be a 66 flip to fail. It's 07, so 70 fail.
You're not really sure, but it seems to be like an awful lot of water in that huge cauldron.
Well, I'm playing with, so I'm standing out near the gate. I actually want to stand on the outside of the gate. That way, if the water does come out, I can take cover.
Okay.
Actually, I will take cover.
Okay, so spend an action point to take cover behind the gate.
And then I'm going to bank my last AP.
At this point, you have no visibility whatsoever inside the compound. You're simply out in the street.
Right.
Okay, Terwin.
Listen here, mates. We've got them outnumbered, and as they keep coming out, we keep putting them down. So, you're going to do more damage to us than we are going to do to them. So, I say we join them. Plus, you'd have me, as I'm going to try and inspire them to stop and maybe lead them away.
Sure. Go ahead and make a leadership test. However, as opposed to referencing your damage condition track,
Okay.
you're actually going to reference your peril condition track.
That's better. I'm unhindered.
Okay. Your test will be routine.
Routine. So that'll be 58. And a 26 will succeed.
Fine words, friend. Sorry. Fine words, friend. But Eustace has given us our orders. We're to take down the braziers.
This is not gonna end well.
They are inspired. That's one AP.
Now they're gonna do way more damage to it.
Well, plus one damage condition track.
Yeah.
Plus one
that would be- yeah.
peril threshold. Yeah.
Thank God they'll get it over.
Yeah.
This is madness.
Well, if there's no convincing them, then I'm going to take a moment to see where all of my friends are. I'm assuming that's an AP as well.
You could have quickly scan across the compound. You can see everyone's split up everywhere. Nobody's within easy reach at all.
Okay.
You can't even see Harper.
Then I'm going to get back amongst the throng
Okay.
and stand next to Warren.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
I disengaged from the throng.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's actually going into
Yeah.
a building.
I was headed towards a building.
Yeah.
Okay, if nobody's in the throng, then and everyone's going into a building, I'm going to go into a building myself.
Okay. That'll be 2 AP. Roll D6.
I only had one AP left because I
Oh, that's right.
I inspired and
So you'll start hustling that way.
okay.
Okay. Oh, you got Tara taking care of Banneker.
Building 3.
Okay. Roll D6 for your die.
1.
1. You come to a
That's probably really
You
bad.
come to a near outbuilding, a large stone building. You grab a hold of the door. As you open it, you can see that it's a walled-off workshop filled with barrels, lit furnaces, other smaller cauldrons, and tubs full of boiling wax for boiling and leaching. Essentially, in here, it appears they're just kind of soft, loamy kind of or foamy substance kind of inside these large brass braziers with a number of kind of pipes leading off of it. There's about it is that the air in here stings your eyes, but it is not the reek.
Is there any office buildings? I mean, are there any like offices? Anything closed besides just?
Not all the buildings have been searched yet.
Oh, all right.
You have 1 AP left. What do you wish to do?
Start moving to the next building. I mean, I got 3 under my belt. I mean,
Elisa,
Going for a building.
roll d6 fury die.
3.
You too come to a smaller outbuilding. Open the door, and inside this kind of outer kind of stone building, you see all this firewood stacked neatly and piled up with cobwebs kind of stretching between it. You can imagine there's probably spiders in that wood. You can see a few woodsman's axes here as well. You can also see a large spool of rope and a few other things that you would find perhaps in an outhouse shed. You have 1 AP left.
Well, if there's spiders, obviously I need to kill them for the first quest, right?
That's right. Kill 10 spiders, bring their legs.
We need 20 eyes. We gotta kill 200.
That's right.
So then I guess I will head towards the next place as well.
Okay. It's the Soul Peterman's turn.
uh-oh.
One of them begins to climb atop a tower. A narrow tower with a ladder, and you can see this woman, she's kind of pulling herself up, one of her arms kind of dangling behind her. She literally has the use of one arm. She's completely bloodied. She's grievously wounded. One of the 13 attempts to take a swipe at her and pull her down off the ladder, but it does not succeed. And then she goes to the top and ding, 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 pulling on this rope near the bell. As you look down at the foot of the stairs, you can see a man climbing up. One of the 13. One of these blacksmiths is ascending the ladder. Warren, what will you do?
I'm going to continue searching the outbuildings.
Okay. You will gain 6 corruption, as she will be slain by the time you come to the next building. She'll be yanked off the ladder, and you leave her to die. You need not roll a d6 fury die at this point. You come to what appears to be a main house of sort, where inside you can see these people who look probably mostly impoverished. 2 men and 1 woman who've been bound and gagged. These are probably the people that the 13 were coming for. You can see that there are a number of kind of smaller antechambers and several lock boxes and all manner of things in here. Clearly this is the main house. It's their quarters.
Alright. Well, I'm going to free these people.
Okay, you walk in and what are you going to cut their bite?
I guess I don't have any knife or anything on me.
Just
so.
try kind of getting them free.
What are they bound with?
Bound with rope.
Okay.
Trying to loosen the ropes.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll begin to work on that. Meanwhile, suddenly, crack! You hear one of the stilts off of the brass cauldron snap once again. And then hot water spills off the edge, moving almost at an angle where it's about threatening to spill across the entire yard. Put another check mark beside the 13. Should the 13 gain, their turn come up again, that entire cauldron will spill across the yard, and there's no telling who will be in its wake and be hurt by it. Harper, it's your turn.
Let's see here. So if I hear the bell, I'm gonna peek back in. I'm gonna see this thing almost turned, and I'm just gonna yell in there, "Everyone scatter! Everyone scatter!
Okay.
Take it down! It's coming down!"
You can peek around and scream that out in among the people.
Because I'm trying to get them to get out of there.
Your voice is you'll have to be very, very loud to get anyone's attention. So make a leadership test.
Right.
This test, because of the melee, it'll be challenging leadership.
Alright. Challenging leadership. That's a 33 flip to fail. That's an 07, so she gets then turned to another 70.
Wow, that's
Fail.
another 70. So that's 1 AP, but nobody is listening. It's
No.
falling upon deaf ears.
No one is listening. Huh. Yeah, well then I'm going to continue to take cover and then just... I mean, if these guys won't listen,
cover
there's nothing
full
I
AP.
can do. I'm just going to hold
Okay.
bank my action point.
Okay. Yeah, 1 action point left. You can bank then.
Yeah.
Okay. Taryn.
I'm still headed towards that building. I
Yes.
need to use an action point.
That's right. You come inside and you open the door. The door slowly peels open, and you can see this is probably where the saltpetermen's quarters are to rest. You can see that there are a number of beds and small foot boxes and a few personal affects kind of scattered all about. You can see immediately as you open the door that there's this tapestry that depicts the symbol of the Genevieve, the symbol of the owl and the quill.
Okay. And I'll start looking for another building.
Okay. Banneker, what will you do?
Have we searched all the buildings at this point?
Yes, but you can see that Warren's kind of motioning you to come to this larger, this I wouldn't say larger, but it's more central building. Now that you kind of gather your bearings here in the compound of the Saltpeterman, it seems to make sense. This must be the main building.
Okay, then I will go there.
Okay. You rush across the way and you join Banneker inside the building. The sounds of the melee outside kind of die down as you're within. You can see that there are these 2 men and 1 woman who are bound, and you can see Warren trying to loosen their bonds. They're clearly members of the 13. They're kind of pleading as their mouths are completely bound. The gags are wet with spittle.
Do I have any AP left?
Yeah, I mean at this point you're just kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you searched?
No.
I'll rip one of the gags off.
thank you, brother. He says,
Where's the office? Where's the office? We need something for Eustace.
roll a guile test. This test will be trivial.
What is this person's social status?
Lowborn.
Stupid peasants.
Good, because I need that. I have a 67, and
There we go.
whew, got a 60.
Nice. Okay. There, he says as he motions toward the nearby door.
Get them. I'll get what Eustace sent us for.
Okay.
Okay. Banneker, you will rush across the way and head into the door. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, or outside as we call that, Elisa. It's
I'm
your
gonna
turn.
head towards where I saw Warren
Okay.
pointing us to.
You head back into that building, and you can see what I just described, too. It appears to be this is where the Saltpeterman is their main compound.
You didn't play the doors out.
The door's already open.
And the doors are, yeah.
The door's already open.
Could I use 1 AP to shut the door and then reopen it, please?
Are you gaming the AP system?
Maybe.
So you're inside Elisa.
Okay. So I don't have anything sharp either. I'm gonna look around to see if there might be a knife or a sharp stone or something.
You come near the desk, and you kind of pull open the top door, and you find a letter opener.
That works. And I'm gonna go head towards. Yeah.
You start cutting loose the bonds. Okay.
Not quickly though.
Okay.
I'm actually taking my time on it because I don't really care if they get out.
You're trying to what? I'm sorry.
I'm taking my time because I don't really care if they get out.
Okay.
But I gotta look like I'm doing something, so.
All right. Saltpeterman's turn.
Oh god. Guns.
Suddenly, you hear this from outside. Boom! This man is blown backwards by this fellow who's wearing this long kind of leather jack, and this flame, boom, fires from one wand. He pulls out the other wand. Boom! He hits another one of the 13 as he falls backward. As this wizard, if you will, of the Saltpeterman is armed with 2 smoking flintlock pistols, and he puts one in his belt and starts to load the other one, kind of priming it and pulling back the lever as a wizard is entering the battlefield. Or in this case, a saltpeterman armed with 2 fucking flintlock pistols. He drops 2 of the 13 with a single shot. Boom! Boom! They fall to the ground. Warren, it's your turn.
I'll continue to loosen the ropes, I guess. What I was doing before.
Alright, you cut loose the rope. Thank you, brother, the woman says. Quick, give me something to fight with. Are they outside? The prophet, is he here?
He's here.
She grabs a hold of your clothes. Give me something, we must free everybody else.
I don't have anything. There's stuff in the yard.
She turns around and starts to loosen the bonds on the second person, so they're all free as you are still working slowly at the other person.
This rope just won't cut. I don't know what.
It's a letter opener, not a rope cutter.
Well,
So strange.
suddenly outside, the 13 finish their hatchet job. And then suddenly, this. The whole barrel goes spilling across the yard with burning hot water. This thick white foam atop it. Who's actually in the yard still?
I don't know if I am or not.
No, you were in a building, I thought.
I said I go on to the next building, so I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Let's see if you can
Yeah.
evade this. You will need to make a hard coordination test to avoid this completely.
That's exactly what a man-at-arms wants to hear. Our coordination, so 17%.
You begin running for your life. No! You attempt to resist.
And an 81 won't do it.
You want to reroll that?
No, I will critically fail if I reroll that.
Yeah, you will. Suddenly, the hot water spills all across the yard.
Not look good. I saw a lot of dice.
3d10 plus 3. 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 damage.
That could have been a lot worse.
And that's why I'm glad I was
Feet.
outside.
Burn!
That would have been almost 3 for me.
I'm seriously wounded.
Okay. Alright.
Hell yeah, for self.
Roll a coordination test. This test
Me?
is hard, yes. Or sorry, roll d6 period. My apologies. First off.
Okay, I already
You
did.
don't need to roll anything. Don't roll a 6.
Roll 4.
Okay. If you rolled a 6, you would have fallen down into the hot water and been burned again.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
Ah!
Oh, bother.
You can see that the 13 and even members of the Salt Pyramid are being burned by boiling hot water.
Why would you do that?
Even the wizard?
The wizard is not.
Okay.
He turns around and one of them says, "Gregor, flee!" And you can see that as he points toward the salt pyramid with the two smoldering pistols, and as the water comes, he turns about. He bolts out of the doors of the compound into the street. The suit-stained prophet is also in the yard, but he is unabated by it. He simply walks among it as if it was simply rain or a puddle. It does not burn him nor his clothes. He walks through the yards untouched, unsinged, unburnt by the boiling water, even as the 13 fall down around at his feet. He hoists the sword in the air. "Did you find them?" he screams out. "Did you find no brethren?" he calls out. You can hear this from inside the compound.
It's got nothing to do with Tim. Or Banneker. Banneker's.
I am concentrating completely on cutting these ropes. It's
Okay.
just.
Meaning you're ignoring it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Warren, what about yourself?
Okay, so I'm a little confused. The 13 are the ones we were supposed to save. He wanted us to save, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes, we found them.
Okay. Warren screams out. You find a lockbox and several papers inside.
thank
Surely
God.
this must be it.
That's it. Then.
Okay.
Well, I can read and I have education.
Yes,
with-
but you've only got you got 10 seconds on your turn. You kind of flip through the papers. Surely it's one of these things. Oh my God!
Stuff them all in. Stuff them all in my
That's right.
backpack.
You take it. He takes them. He shoves them inside the sack.
All right.
Ding ding ding! Oh! Crunch.
Start running towards the gate.
Okay.
Let's get the fuck
As
outta
you
here.
step out, you can see that the ground all outside is just like simmering with hot water, and as you kind of splash through it, are all of you wishing to flee at this point? Or are you going to stick around?
Yeah, we should get out of here, right?
I'm
Well, how quick?
hell out. Once I see him take off with what I assume is papers in his bag, I freaking run. Finish cutting the ropes and run.
I'm gonna be the last one out, but yeah, I will leave.
Yeah.
Okay. You all flee into the night, leaving behind the Saltpeterman and the 13 and Brigandine, who will likely arrive in short order. Into the streets you go, leaving the compound, fleeing from this.
Do we want to
Atrocity.
go? Do you want to go tell Brigandine now?
Hey, there's something happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we should go do it. But I shouldn't go with us.
I'll go.
You can see that the
that's a good
sky
point,
is
good point.
gathered with storm clouds. The wind has picked up. It's a cold autumn night.
I reckon we just don't even tell them that we were there. They'll find out. Bells rang. Guns were shot.
That's true.
We had our chance to stop this. We didn't.
What chance did five of us?
That's true. They don't know we were there. We need it. We need to get home. One, I need your help.
Let's get back to the cool cloakroom.
You have the worst luck with an injury.
Keep in mind, the cloakroom is in Messiah Square, which you're nowhere nearby. You're actually very close to Founders Square.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's that other one.
There's something.
Yeah, but it doesn't have private rooms.
That's right.
Only has a common room.
We should go back to Messiah Square then.
Or
I would say yes.
It's evening, yeah.
It is late evening.
yeah. That way we can just we were here.
Is there a curfew in this area?
Not that you're aware of now.
There's
Okay, so far there's not been any Brigandine presence at all, right?
Well, you fled the scene. You have no
Right,
idea
right.
if
So
they're there.
no, but
Yeah.
from what we saw,
That's correct.
so we would have no idea where Brigandine was coming from, right?
That's right.
Okay, so would I be able to kind of suss out from what I've seen before where the nearest Brigandine station is?
It'd either be in Founders Square. It'd probably be in Founders Square. That's where you had, as a matter of fact, it's where you'd spoken to
Those two.
the local
Okay.
magistrate whose
Right.
name escapes me.
Sir Leland.
Sir Leland. That's right.
Founders Square is closer, but that's also where Brigandine's going to be coming from. I don't want to be seen. Let's go to the cloakroom.
Alright.
All
Makes
right.
sense, boss.
So is the intention not to be seen in the streets as you head back to Messiah Square?
I'm gonna
Right,
kinda
because
scout.
I'm assuming that, like, since the closest place that they'd be coming from is Founders Square, we would come across them like that. Whereas I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they'll come and we'll
What were you saying?
leave.
I was
Sorry,
gonna kind of
okay.
scout ahead a little bit,
Okay.
just because I'm a little bit better at keeping to the shadows.
Okay. So you're basically trying to blaze a trail, so to speak, through the city street where you'll be unnoticed and unseen.
Yeah, and kind of direct people so that we can get
Okay.
away from Brigandines.
Roll a secret stealth test. Treat it as standard.
It's a secret. He's got a secret.
Alright, my
Secret,
spell
secret.
is a 45, and I rolled a 12.
12. Nice.
These dice really like
Would
me.
you like to re-roll it?
No.
Want to keep that?
I think
I mean, you could have gone one better and been at 11.
Only
I'm just saying. You could have done
30%
to
chance
to
you
skulk through the streets and not be seen by Brigandine or others who would potentially make Brigandine aware that you may be in the streets. You play it as safe as you possibly can, at least, as you lead them back. Sometime before you get back to Bisaya Square, back before you get to the cloakroom, you hear the tolling of the bells in the city, marking the witching hour. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. There's 12 bells. The 12 bell strikes kind of brought in unison. We're going to assume that it's probably... I think that's actually becoming part of it. What is that from? What
Metallica.
Metallica what?
What about Hell's Bells?
No.
Okay, now I'm hearing the song in my head.
It's
and I was
one,
wrong.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah, it is one.
So, across the city, in Durendal, from different parts of the city, you hear dun 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 dun.
You better call Lars to make sure we got the right.
That's right. Oh gosh, that's bad, right? By the time you get back to the cloakroom, it is very late at night. The cloakroom is not too lively. I mean, it is the witching hour. It's midnight, and it takes a bit of cajoling to let you inside, but because their doors are closed. But they will allow you in, providing that you will pay for room and board this evening here.
Yeah,
I assume I already had since I stabled with Matthew. I paid when I...
You stabled Matthew, but you didn't pay for your room and board.
Okay.
The innkeep he'll grumble a bit, but he insists that you pay for room and board this evening.
Yeah.
So you wish to stay in a common room? You want to stay in a private room? There are people in the common room tonight.
Private.
How much is private?
Good question.
I'll be in the common.
Can we separate? We'll buy one private room for sure.
5 shilling. For
Okay.
private room for the night will actually, you could all go in there.
Okay.
Not comfortably, but you can all sleep in there if you wish. It's 5
Okay.
shilling.
I'll do the 5 shilling.
Okay. And for those of you who wish to buy a meal, it's 1 shilling for aristocrats, 8 brass pennies for a burger, and 4 brass pennies for our lowborn. So pay your appropriate cost for your social class.
Okay.
Do you wish to retire to your private room?
Yes.
Okay.
10%, because I'm slim. So does that round down from there? So would mine be 7?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, your build. Remember, your build will modify
frail.
this.
Do I have an opportunity to use the camp follower feast or famine ability that lets...
If you're preparing food on your own,
Okay, so no. Alright.
yeah,
Yeah, have your own food.
yeah, you must prepare your own food for feast or famine.
Okay.
So you will retire back to the cloakroom, and we will take a pause and continue with episode 14 here briefly. So we'll break and come back in 5.
Oh, and thanks to Sirenscape for the awesome sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have the door one more time?
Brrrr.